Managing diabetes is not just about taking medications or checking blood sugar levels. It's about making consistent, informed choices every day, especially when it comes to food. Certain foods can wreak havoc on your blood glucose levels, even if they seem harmless. Whether you've been newly diagnosed or are trying to prevent complications, knowing what to avoid and what to include in your diet is key to long-term health. In this comprehensive video, we'll dive into 6 of the worst foods for people with diabetes, why they cause trouble, and what healthier alternatives you should consider. Plus, you'll learn about 5 foods that actually help regulate blood sugar, and the daily habits every diabetic should adopt for optimal health. The role of diet in diabetes. Diabetes is a condition where the body struggles to regulate blood glucose levels, either due to a lack of insulin, like in type 1 diabetes, or because the cells become resistant to it, as in type 2 diabetes. The food you consume has a direct impact on your blood sugar levels, and choosing the wrong foods can lead to dangerous spikes, complications, and worsening insulin resistance. Let's start by looking at the 6 major food categories you should avoid if you're managing diabetes. 1. Sugary beverages. Soda, sweetened juices, energy drinks, sweet teas. Sugary beverages are at the top of the list for a reason. When consumed, these drinks hit your bloodstream almost instantly, causing a sudden spike in blood glucose levels. For someone whose body already struggles to manage insulin properly, this spike can be extremely dangerous. These drinks contain no fiber, no nutrients, and no real benefits, only empty calories. Long-term consumption may lead to complications like blurred vision, increased thirst and urination, fatigue, kidney damage, nerve damage, and heart disease. If you're managing diabetes, swap sugary drinks for infused water, unsweetened iced tea, or herbal tea. 2. White bread and refined grains, white rice, white pasta, pastries, white bread. These are all examples of refined grain products. Now, white bread and refined grains undergo heavy processing that removes their fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What you're left with is a carbohydrate-heavy food that gets digested really quickly, turning almost immediately into glucose. This in turn causes rapid blood sugar spikes and increased insulin demand, and over time it can lead to long-term blood vessel and nerve damage. Also, many commercial breads contain added sugars which further raise blood glucose levels. Instead, it's much better to opt for whole grain bread, brown rice, or quinoa. These contain fiber to slow digestion and help stabilize glucose release. 3. Full-fat dairy products. Whole milk, cream, butter, full-fat cheese. These are all examples of full-fat dairy products. Full-fat dairy contains saturated fats which can interfere with insulin's effectiveness and actually worsen insulin resistance, which is really a core issue in type 2 diabetes. Over time, this just makes it more difficult to maintain healthy blood sugar levels. There are also some additional risks of consuming full-fat dairy, such as weight gain, especially around the belly, increased LDL or bad cholesterol, and a higher risk of heart attacks and strokes. For a better option, try low-fat dairy products or plant-based alternatives, like unsweetened almond milk or oat milk. 4. Fried foods, French fries, fried chicken, donuts, tempura. These are all fried foods we might crave now and then, but fried foods are usually cooked in reused oils at high temperatures, creating trans fats which are highly inflammatory and increase the risk of heart disease. They also slow digestion, causing unpredictable glucose fluctuations. Fried foods can cause calorie overload, increase abdominal fat, promote insulin resistance, and lead to high cholesterol and blood pressure. So it's best to avoid frying and try healthier cooking methods like baking, steaming, or air frying instead. 5. Processed snacks, things like chips, crackers, and packaged baked goods. Most processed snacks are made with white flour and little to no fiber, which means they're digested quickly and can cause your blood sugar to spike. These foods are also high in calories, sodium, and added sugar, yet honestly they offer no real nutrients. They can contribute to weight gain, increased blood pressure, and elevated insulin resistance. Instead, try switching to nuts, seeds, or air-popped popcorn with minimal salt for a much healthier snack alternative. 6. Sweetened breakfast cereals. Now let's move on to sweetened breakfast cereals. things like frosted flakes, granola clusters, and flavored oats. Even though they're often marketed as healthy, most cereals are actually loaded with added sugars, such as high fructose corn syrup, which leads to those morning sugar spikes, followed by energy crashes. They're typically low in protein and fiber, but high in simple sugars. This combination means you'll probably feel hungry soon after eating, which can encourage overeating and poor blood sugar control. A better choice would be to go for plain oats and add berries or cinnamon for flavor without all that sugar. The best foods to eat if you have diabetes. The best foods to eat if you have diabetes, half the equation. Here are 5 diabetes-friendly foods you should add to your regular diet. 1. Leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, these are all fantastic options. Leafy greens are low in carbs and calories, but they're high in magnesium, vitamin K, and antioxidants. These nutrients help improve insulin sensitivity, reduce oxidative stress, and support vascular health. They're perfect in salads, soups, smoothies, or even just steamed as a side dish. 2. Whole grains. Think of brown rice, quinoa, barley, and oats. Whole grains contain fiber that slows the release of glucose into the bloodstream, which really helps maintain stable blood sugar and avoids those dangerous spikes. Other benefits include a low glycemic index, support for weight management, and being rich in magnesium to support insulin function. You might want to start your morning with oatmeal or use quinoa as a rice substitute at lunch or dinner. 3. Fatty fish. Salmon, sardines, and mackerel are excellent choices. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and support heart health, a major concern for people with diabetes. They also contain protein, which slows digestion and the rise of blood sugar. Other benefits include helping with weight control, being low in carbs, and improving cholesterol levels. Try to include fatty fish 2 to 3 times a week for optimal benefit. 4. Nuts and seeds. Walnuts, almonds, flax seeds, and chia seeds. These are all packed with healthy fats and magnesium. Nuts and seeds help reduce inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity. And, they have other benefits too. They promote satiety, help stabilize your blood sugar, and can even lower LDL cholesterol. Try sprinkling them over salads, yogurt, or just enjoy a small handful as a snack. 5. Berries. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. These are naturally sweet, but they have a low glycemic load and are packed with antioxidants like anthocyanins, which help reduce inflammation and improve glucose metabolism. They also help combat oxidative stress, support heart health, and improve your insulin response. You can enjoy them fresh or frozen in smoothies, oatmeal, or even desserts. Daily habits to help manage diabetes. Diet is essential, but honestly, it works best when it's supported by healthy lifestyle habits. Here are some daily practices that support better blood sugar control. 1. Exercise regularly. Aim for 30 minutes of activity most days. Walking, swimming, cycling, or strength training. Exercise improves insulin sensitivity and supports weight loss. 2. Monitor blood sugar. Check your glucose levels regularly to understand how your body responds to foods, exercise, and medications. This helps you make smarter choices. 3. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water throughout the day. Dehydration can lead to blood sugar spikes, so aim for at least 8 glasses daily. 4. Manage stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which elevates blood sugar. Practice meditation, deep breathing, or yoga to help regulate stress levels. 5. Get adequate sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Poor sleep disrupts insulin function, increases appetite, and raises blood sugar. 6. Take medications as prescribed. Missing doses or taking too much can cause dangerous fluctuations. Always follow your doctor's instructions carefully. 7. Practice good foot care. Inspect your feet daily for cuts or infections. Diabetes can cause nerve damage and poor circulation, leading to serious foot complications. 8. Schedule regular checkups. Visit your doctor, eye specialist, and dentist regularly. Early detection of issues is key to avoiding complications. 9. Stay informed. Diabetes is a lifelong journey. Stay updated on new research, treatments, and self-care tips. Knowledge empowers better choices. Managing diabetes doesn't have to feel overwhelming. It really starts with small, daily decisions, like choosing water instead of soda or a bowl of oatmeal instead of sugary cereal. By avoiding harmful foods like sugary drinks, white bread, full-fat dairy, fried foods, processed snacks, and sweetened cereals, you give your body a fighting chance to stay healthy. Replace those choices with leafy greens, whole grains, fatty fish, nuts, and berries, and support those choices with smart lifestyle habits. With consistency, you can stabilize blood sugar, reduce complications, and live a full, vibrant life. Ready to take control of your health? Start by making one change today. Your future self will thank you.